Today marks 1 year since Boynton Beach police officer Joe Crowder died while suddenly out for an evening run.
And only on 5, we're giving you a look at how his fellow officers are moving forward, including the K-9 officers. WPTV News Channel 5 Stephanie Susskind has our story.
Right now, the Boynton Beach Police Department Facebook page is dedicated to the memory of Officer Joe Crowder. He not only left behind a family and brothers in blue, he also left behind 2 police canines who carry on his mission.
Canine Eero knows how to catch the bad guy.
And that is Canine Eero.
What he didn't know was he'd be doing it without his first partner.
Initially, it was very hard. You know, he passed, and then now I have his dog. I know that I have a piece of Joe, so sorry, I can't. Oh.
Officer Chris Schalk always wanted to be a canine officer.
I didn't want it to happen that way, and nobody would.
1 year ago, canine officer Joe Crowder was out for an evening run when he suffered a medical episode and died. In the midst of mourning his sudden loss came the question of what to do with his dogs, Eero and Daxxx.
I have Daxxx, Joe's retired dog.
Fellow canine officer Mark Sohn already had 2 police dogs of his own, retired Hutch and his current partner, Baco, when he decided to add a third.
Picked up his leash with his mouth and walked over to my wife, and she kind of looked at me like, we got to take care of him. We got to bring him home.
Officer Sohn says it was a tough transition at first, bringing Daxxx into a new home with a new family.
And those two, they had a great bond. I believe there was definitely a change in his behavior. I think there was a little bit of depression, and he was still very much that Daxxx man of a dog, that canine mentality that I always used to see with Joe.
But he says now Daxxx has softened up, knowing he's no longer on duty.
It's been an honor, been a daily reminder of Joe, and I think if the roles were reversed, he would do it for me.
Come on, leave it.
As for Officer Schalk, driving his late friend's patrol car and taking his dog into action.
I can't really put it into words. Just do the best I can. Hope I make him proud.
And he knows his friend and fellow officer is with him.
And at the end of the leash.
Stephanie Susskind, WPTV News Channel 5.
It's a beautiful story. Really shows the connection. Bond doesn't even seem to define it.
They serve with, they grieve for, and they honor the legacy of those on the front lines. We salute all of them.
Great job.
Beautiful story.